Hello everyone. Hope the screen is visible and the sound is clear. Okay, now we'll start. The topic next topic is rhinitis sicca. Okay, rhinitis sicca, it is characterized by crusting and drying in anterior one third of the nasal cavity. What happens in rhinitis sicca is there will be drying and crusting in the anterior one third of the nasal cavity. Okay, the secretions will be dry up easily and they will form crust in anterior one third of nasal cavity only. There will be no crusting or drying in the posterior part. Okay. Now the etiology, the etiological factor is dry, hot and dusty environment. Okay, that will cause drying of the nasal secretions and it will lead to rhinitis sicca. Okay, the etiological factor is dry, hot and dusty environment that will cause drying of nasal secretions. Because of dry, hot and dusty environment, there will be drying of nasal secretion and it will lead to condition that is rhinitis sicca. Now the clinical features of rhinitis sicca. There will be crusting and drying in the front of nose, that is in anterior one third, and it will cause nasal obstruction and irritation. Okay, that is the first clinical feature, crusting and drying only in the anterior one third, that is in the front of nose, that will cause nasal obstruction and irritation. Next, there will be epistaxis. Patient picks up the scab with fingernails and that will cause ulceration and epistaxis. Okay. When there is crust formation or scab that is formed, patient that will cause nasal obstruction. Okay, and irritation in the nose. So patient try to pick up that scab with fingers or fingernails and that will cause ulceration and epistaxis. Okay, when you remove that scab or remove that crust, there will be ulceration and there will be epistaxis, that is bleeding from the nose. And again that blood clot and scab forms once again. Okay, at that site where the ulceration is formed, there will be again there will be blood clot formation and scab formation. Okay, and this cycle is repeated. So second symptom is epistaxis and third one is septal perforation. It will result from deep ulceration because of picking. Okay, as this process goes on, patient tries to remove this scab or tries to remove this crust. There will be ulcer formation. Again, there will be scab formation. Patient again removes this scab and there will be bleeding and ulceration. This process goes on for longer time and this may cause septal perforation. The nasal septum get perforates because of this uh, process and because of the deep ulceration that is caused because of picking. Okay, you got the clinical features of rhinitis sicca. Any difficulty? Okay, now the treatment. First treatment is lubrication of nose with Vaseline, ghee or oil or butter. That will diminish the scab formation. Okay, when you keep the nasal cavity lubricating, uh, with the help of Vaseline or ghee or oil or with the help of butter, there will be no scab formation because of lubrication, and the condition is diminished. The scab formation is diminished. Then second one is alkaline nasal douching, or what is alkaline nasal douching? Do you remember what is alkaline nasal douching? Okay, it is a cleaning of a nasal cavity with the help of some ingredients. Which are those ingredients? Okay. Okay, those three ingredients are mixed in warm water and it is injected into the nasal cavity with the help of syringe, and then the nasal cavity is clean, or with the help of weighted swab with plain water. You have to weight the cotton swab with plain water. That will also remove the or loosen the crust that is formed in the nose. Okay, swab in the plain water. It will also clean the nasal cavity. It will loosen the crust. It will That will loosen the crust, and um, the nasal cavity will be clean. Then third one is environment. If the patient works in dry, hot, dusty environment, you have to advise to change his job. Okay, because that is the etiological factor of rhinitis sicca, that is dry, hot, and dusty environment will cause drying up of nasal secretion, and it will lead to rhinitis sicca. So if a person is getting all these complaints frequently, then and if that person is working in hot, dry, and dusty environment, then you have to advise the patient to change his job. Okay, is there any difficulty in rhinitis sicca? Okay, then next condition is rhinitis caseosa. Okay, these are the chronic condition. This is the chronic condition, non-specific. Okay, non-specific chronic rhinitis. Okay, it comes under the headings of infective rhinitis. It is a chronic condition and non-specific. Okay, what happens in rhinitis caseosa is it is a rare condition in which a caseous material is collected in the nose and in maxillary sinus as a result of inspection of secretions. There is an inflammation and formation of granulations also. So it is very rare condition where caseous material means cheese like material is collected into the nose, okay, and in the maxillary sinus also. The cheese like material that is collected in nose and maxillary sinus, and that is because of as a result of inspection of secretion. The secretions get stagnated in the maxillary sinus and in the nasal cavity, so it will turn into a cheese like material, and that condition is called as rhinitis caseosa. And this condition is characterized by inflammation and formation of granulations. Inflammatory changes भी होते हैं वहाँ पे और granulations भी form होते हैं. तो treatment of rhinitis caseosa is excision. You have to excise the that inspissated material or secretion in the nasal, which is in nasal cavity or in the maxillary sinus. The caseous material and granulations are to be removed, that is called as excision. And histopathological examination of those granulations the is done. The material, that caseous material, should be sent for histopathological examination to rule out the malignancy. Okay. Any difficulty? Okay, now next condition, that is rhinosporidiosis. Rhinosporidiosis का classification क्या है, याद है? What is the classification, which where it comes, under which headings? Okay, it is a chronic infection, specific infection, and it comes under infective rhinitis, infective, chronic, and specific. Okay, rhinosporidiosis. Okay, it is the infestation of nose by spore bearing fungus, which affects mainly the nose. Okay, infestation of nose by a spore bearing fungus. Okay, it is a fungal infection, that is rhinosporidiosis, and when it infests the nasal cavity, then that condition is called as rhinosporidiosis. So definition is infestation of nose by spore bearing fungus which affects the nose. The etiological factors of rhinosporidiosis are: first one is age. Uh, the young adults, it is seen in young adults and may be seen up to 50 years of age. The sex that is affected mostly this condition is seen mostly in males. The causative organism is Rhinosporidium seiberi. The causative organism of rhinosporidiosis is Rhinosporidium seiberi or Rhinosporidium kinelli. Okay. In the occupation, mostly the farmers are affected with this fungus. So mostly males are affected mostly. Okay. Then trauma is the predisposing factor for this condition. So when there is any trauma in the nasal cavity, and if that person is a farmer, the fungus may attack the nasal cavity or that injured part of the body. That is the fungus that causes rhinosporidiosis is Rhinosporidium seiberi or Rhinosporidium kinelli. So mostly farmers are affected, and the predisposing cause for rhinosporidiosis is trauma. Okay. Then in pathology, okay, when you see the pathology, there will be polypoidal masses that are formed in the nose, which are very vascular. Okay, polyp-like masses that are formed in the nose, which are very vascular. Then there will be sporangia that is scattered in the mass, and the spread is the exact mode of spreading is not known, but it may be airborne or through the contaminated water. Okay. So you understood the pathology. Pathology में क्या होता है? There will be polypoidal mass that is formed. Polyp-like masses are formed in the nose. They are very vascular, and there will be sporangia that is scattered in the mass. What is sporangia? Sporangia मतलब क्या है? Spores रहते हैं, black color के spores that will be on the polypoidal mass. Okay, those are the sporangias. Then spread of this disease is maybe by airborne or through the contaminated water. Okay, now the symptoms. Symptoms of rhinosporidiosis are epistaxis. It may be frequently present. Epistaxis is bleeding from nose. Then there will be blocking of nose, which is the commonest complaint, because as there is a polypoidal mass in the nose, it will block the nose. Then epistaxis is there because the polypoidal mass may cause irritation into the nose, and patient tries to pick up or tries to remove that mass, and there will be if there is trauma, then it may cause epistaxis. Then there will be rhinorrhea may be present, that is discharge from the nose. Then there will be protrusion of mass may occur. The polypoidal mass that may protrude from the nasal cavity. The next one is signs. The first one is polypoidal mass. The nose contains vascular mulberry-like polypoidal mass that is attached to the septum or to the turbinate, and it may track backward into the nasopharynx or oropharynx. Then there will be bleeding. Masses may bleed on touch or because they are friable, and there will be sporangia that is seen as a minute grayish spot on the infected surface of masses. Okay, so bleeding and then sporangia. Is it okay? Any difficulty in rhinosporidiosis? Any difficulty? या फिर से रिपीट करूँ एक बार, बोलो. राइनाइटिस सिक्का एंड राइनाइटिस केसियोसा समझ में आ गया? Okay, any difficulty in rhinosporidiosis? Repeat. कोणता? Rhinos rhinosporidiosis. Okay. It is rhinosporidiosis मतलब क्या है? It is a infestation of nose by spore bearing fungus. It is a fungal infection. Okay. that affects the nose. Mostly young adults up to 50 years of age, those are affected. Mostly males are affected whose occupation is farming. So farmers are mostly affected. And the predisposing factor for rhinosporidiosis is trauma. When there is any trauma in the injury into the nasal cavity, these spores may infest the nasal cavity also. Like the causative fungus is Rhinosporidium sebarii or Rhinosporidium kinelli. Okay, these spores may infest the that injured part of nose. Okay, so predisposing factor for rhinosporidiosis is trauma. Okay, these are the etiological factors. So in etiological factors, you must know the causative fungus, that is Rhinosporidium sebarii or Rhinosporidium kinelli, and mostly the occupation that is affected is farmers and males, that those are affected most commonly, and trauma is the predisposing cause. Okay, and then what happens in pathology is there will be, what happens in rhinosporidiosis, actually there will be a polypoidal mass, polyp-like mass is formed into the nose. That polyp may arises from nasal septum, either from nasal septum or from um, uh, turbinates. Okay, so and that polypoidal mass it may track backwards into the nasopharynx. Nasopharynx में जाता है for, it may extend to the up to the nasopharynx or oropharynx also. That mass will extend. Okay, and on that mass there will be sporangia. Sporangia are black or grayish colored spots. You can see if you examine the nasal cavity, you can see a polypoidal mass, and on that mass there will be black spots will be present, black colored spots or grayish colored spots are present. Those are sporangia, spores रहते वो. Then this spread of this disease is exact mode of the spread of this disease is not known, but by airborne it may spread through air or through the contaminated water. Okay, then the main symptom, or you can say clinical feature of rhinosporidiosis is polypoidal mass formation, and that is that mass is covered with very sporangia, spores. Okay, and the symptoms because of that polypoidal mass will be, there will be epistaxis, because that mass, polypoidal mass is very friable, and it will cause irritation to the irritation in the nose, and that's why the uh, patient tries to remove it. Okay, and it will also block the nose also. So patient will try to remove that mass and it will bleed. So patient will have epistaxis. Then as there is a mass, there will be blockage of nose. Then there will be rhinorrhea, that is discharge from nose, and there will be protrusion of that mass may occur. That mass may protrude through anterior nasal cavity, or it may extend to the nasopharynx or oropharynx also. These are the symptoms. Then signs are polypoidal mass. The first one is polypoidal mass. When you examine the patient's nasal cavity, then what you can see is a polypoidal mass which contains vascular mulberry-like. Um, that mass is vascular and it is like a mulberry that is attached to the septum or to the turbinate. Okay, why it will look like a mulberry? Because mulberry, you know what is mulberry? मलबेरी माहिती आहे का सगळ्यांना? माझा आवाज येतोय का सगळ्यांना? Are you attending the lecture? तो व्हाट इज मलबेरी? मलबेरी पता है? मलबेरी क्या है? फ्रूट है ना, एक स्ट्रॉबेरी लाइक छोटा क्या बोलते हैं उसमें, मराठीमध्ये तुती बोलतात. छोटं स्ट्रॉबेरी लाइक फ्रूट असतं. ओके, that is red and brown colored fruit. And हा, पण मलबेरी म्हणजे काय? फ्रूट कसं असतं त्याचं? फ्रूट कसं असतं माहिती आहे का? छोटे छोटे स्ट्रॉबेरी सारखे छोटे छोटे हे असतात, फळं असतात त्याचे, स्ट्रॉबेरीपेक्षा खूप छोटी. आणि त्याच्यावर म्हणजे ठीक आहे, मलबेरी नाही माहिती तर स्ट्रॉबेरी तरी माहिती आहे तुम्हाला लोकांना. तर स्ट्रॉबेरीच्या सारखं इट इज व्हस्क्युलर, म्हणजे रेडिश कलर, आणि त्याच्यावर स्ट्रॉबेरीवर कसं येल्लो कलरचे स्पॉट असतात, तसंच ह्या मासवर देर विल बी ब्लॅक कलर स्पॉट्स अँड दोज आर स्पोर्स. Okay, black and grayish colored spots, those are called as spores. As it is a fungal infection, there will be spores on that mass. Okay, then there will be when you examine the nasal cavity, there will be bleeding. The masses may bleed on touch because they are friable. Okay, and sporangias may be seen as minute grayish spot on the inferior surface of that mass. Then this disease may spread, or it may involve along with nasal cavity. It may involve eyes, pharynx, trachea, and genitals by blood. It will spread to liver, spleen, and skin. Okay, so this is when the person get infested with this fungus. This may spread to the fungal infection may along with nasal cavity. It may spread to eyes, pharynx, or trachea, or to the genitals, and occasionally through blood it may spread to liver, spleen, and skin also. The treatment for this is medicines will not help in this condition, so you have to surgically excise that polypoidal mass with diathermy knife and cauterization of the base with diathermy. But because of bleeding and tendency to spread, and the recurrence is very common, another treatment is cryosurgery, and laser surgery may be used for minimal bleeding. So, with the help of a diathermy knife and cauterization of the base with the diathermy knife, you have to excise that polypoidal mass, but that may cause bleeding, and recurrence is common. So, you can go for cryosurgery, or by the laser surgery, you can remove that polypoidal mass. Okay. हॅलो, आवाज येतोय का? हॅलो. Okay, is there any difficulty? Is there any difficulty in rhinosporidiosis? Okay, now the screen is visible now. Okay, next condition is rhinoscleroma. Screen is visible. Is the screen visible? Okay, next condition is rhinoscleroma. Okay, scleroma is a progressive granulomatous disease which commences in the nose and it may extend to nasopharynx, oropharynx, larynx, and rarely to the tracheobronchial tree. Okay, so what is scleroma? Scleroma is the progressive granulomatous disease which commences in the nose. Okay, it starts in the nose and it may extend to nasopharynx, oropharynx, larynx, and rarely to the tracheobronchial tree. And rhinoscleroma is a chronic infection. It is characterized by sclerosis and stenosis of nasal passage. What is sclerosis and what is stenosis? Hardening and hardening, hardening and क्या बोले आप? Stop page. It's narrowing of cavity. Narrowing of cavity. Sclerosis means what? Hardening. No? And stenosis is because of that hardening there will be narrowing of the nasal cavity. Okay. So it is rhinoscleroma is characterized by sclerosis and stenosis of the nasal passage. Okay. The etiological factors of rhinoscleroma. First one is age group that is affected. It occurs in patients over the age of 20 years. Both the sexes are equally affected. Then the habitat is mostly it is seen in rural areas in all parts of the world, but with low socioeconomic conditions. And the causative organism for this is Klebsiella rhinoscleromatis. Okay, age group affected is over 20 years of age. Both the sexes are equally affected. Mostly the persons in the rural areas and with low socioeconomic status, they are mostly affected. And the causative organism is Klebsiella rhinoscleromatis. Okay, the pathology. This disease is characterized by presence of granulations. Okay, there will be granulations which infiltrate the submucosa and with scattered mucous cells. The mucous cells has large vacuolated foamy cells, then Russell bodies, and the plasma cells with eccentric nucleus and lymphocytes. So you have to mug up this pathology. What happens in pathology is there will be presence of granulations presence of granulations which infiltrate the submucosa. Okay, the submucosa is infiltrated with granulations with various types of cells are present, that is muculate cells, then Russell bodies and plasma cells. with eccentric nucleus resembling plasma cells. Russell bodies are, it will look like plasma cells with eccentric nucleus and lymphocytes. So three types of cells: nucleus cells, Russell bodies, and lymphocytes are present in the um, these cells are scattered in the submucosa of the nasal cavity. Okay. Then symptoms, there will be blockage of nose. Second one is nasal discharge is present along with sneezing, and there will be headache. Then signs, external, when you examine the nose externally, uh, it will be firm, woody to touch. And when you do the anterior rhinoscopy, there are three stages of diseases you can see. First stage is atrophic stage. Okay, first stage is atrophic stage. It is present initially, and there will be crusting, foul smelling from nose, and the mucosa is pink. Then second stage is nodular stage, where there is a bluish red non-ulcerative masses are present with of rubbery consistency. Bluish red and non-ulcerative masses of rubbery consistency. And third one is fibrotic stage of stenosis of nasal passage, and it will vary from partial obstruction to total atresia of the nasal cavity. Okay, this in fibrotic stage, the nasal cavity is obliterated due to deposition of dense fibrous tissue, which starts from anterior nares and it will progress backwards. ओके समझ रहा है कि नहीं समझ रहा है एनी डिफिकल्टी Okay, once again I will repeat rhinoscleroma. It is a chronic infection. Rhinoscleroma is a chronic infection characterized by sclerosis and stenosis of nasal passage. तो nasal passage में क्या होता है rhinoscleroma में? There will be hardening and narrowing of the nasal cavity. Okay, so that is the definition. It is a chronic infection characterized by sclerosis and stenosis of nasal passage. The etiological factors are it affects mostly over the 20 years of age. Both the sexes are equally affected, and mostly this condition is present in rural areas with low socioeconomic status. Okay, and the causative organisms is Klebsiella rhinoscleromatis. Okay, then in pathology, what happens in pathology? There will be presence of granulations that will infiltrate the submucosa, and there are various types of cells like nucleus cells or Russell bodies and lymphocytes. These cells are infiltrated into the submucosa of nose. Okay. Then symptoms are there will be blockage of nose as there is hardening and narrowing of nasal cavity. Uh, there will there will be blockage of nose. Then there will be nasal discharge with sneezing and headache also. Then signs. Signs is what you can see. Okay, when you examine the nose externally, then it is firm and it is woody to touch. लाकडासारखं कडक असतं कडक होऊन जातं नोज ओके वेन यू टच द नोज इट विल बी वुडी टू टच दॅट मीन्स लाकडासारखं कडक लागतं हाताला फील okay it becomes firm. Then when you do anterior rhinoscopy, when you examine the nose with rhinoscope from anterior side, from anterior nares, there will be three stages of disease. First stage is atrophic stage. In atrophic stage, there will be crusting, then foul smelling from nose, and the mucosa is pink in atrophic stage. Okay. Then second stage is nodular stage, where there is bluish red, non-ulcerative mass of rubbery consistency is present. A mass is present which is bluish red colored and with rubbery consistency. And third stage is fibrotic stage. That the fibrotic stage is where there is deposition of fibrous tissue and it will cause stenosis of the nasal passage. It varies from partial obstruction to the total atresia. So in fibrotic stage, the whole nasal cavity will be blocked. That means it may be partial obstruction. There may be partial obstruction, or there will be total atresia or full. The nasal cavity is fully blocked. Okay. The nasal cavity obstruction is by deposition of dense fibrous tissue. Fibrous tissue is deposited, so there will be obstruction of the nasal cavity. And this deposition will start from anterior nares and it will progress backwards. So because of deposition of that fibrous tissue, nose will become hard, firm, and it will cause a narrowing of the nasal cavity, partial closure, or there will be total atresia of the nasal cavity. Okay. Then what happens to the throat? These are the three stages. The throat may show extension of the sclerosing process. So we have seen this process starts from the anterior nares and it will go backward into the it affects the full nasal cavity and it may extend to the throat also. So throat may show extension of the sclerosing process and downwards from nose to the oropharynx, larynx and trachea also. So it affects nasal cavity as well as oropharynx, larynx and trachea also. Then how to diagnose this case? Diagnosis is easily made by history and by clinical examination. Okay. So you have to take the history and you have to do careful clinical examination of that patient. And if the mass is present, then it may send for biopsy. It will reveal the diagnosis. Then differential diagnosis is tertiary syphilis. In tertiary syphilis, that may also produce the similar lesions like that of rhinoscleroma. And atrophic rhinitis is another differential diagnosis. This atrophic rhinitis may also resemble um, in atrophic stage of atrophic rhinitis, same as that of rhinoscleroma, but the nasal mucosa is pale in atrophic rhinitis. Okay. In atrophic stage of rhinoscleroma, the nasal mucosa is pink, while in atrophic stage or in atrophic rhinitis, the nasal mucosa is pale. That is the differentiating point. Then treatment for rhinoscleroma. The first treatment is antibiotics like streptomycin, chloramphenicol, or doxycycline that may be given for 6 months. These antibiotics may be given for the period of 6 months to 1 year, along with steroids that will regress the disease partially or totally. Okay, so you have to start the antibiotic with that is chloramphenicol or streptomycin or doxycycline for the period of 6 months to 1 year, along with steroids. Okay, then surgical treatment is if there is no improvement with antibiotics and steroids etc., then recanalization of nose is performed by excision of the sclerosed tissue to establish the free nasal passage. So you have to excise that hardened, dense, that fibrous tissue you have to excise, and you have to recanalize the nose. But there is tendency of recurrence of stenosis may be avoided by repeated dilatation of nostril, and then lastly laser surgery may be useful. So you have to excise the sclerosed tissue, but there is recurrence. So if you you want to avoid that recurrence, then you have to uh, go for repeated dilatation of the nostrils. That is the surgical treatment. Okay, any difficulty? Is there any difficulty? समजले का नक्की सगळ्यांना? Okay, if there is any difficulty, you can ask me in the next lecture. So please go through all these notes. Okay. Chalo, I will end the lecture now. Chalo, bye.